All right, welcome into another episode of The Lab presented by Wolverine. Make sure you guys head over to wolverine.com, get you some nice flannels, some nice gear. I saw Colston, you were doing a little bit of modeling work for him, right?
Yes,
You
sir.
ever done some what's the behind the scenes there? You did a little bit of modeling work with Wolverine, right?
Yeah, shout out Wolverine. They got some good gear. Got some boots too. It's about that time.
Yeah, you're from Idaho, so you probably got some boots and some flannels and stuff like that. It's kind of right up your alley.
Yeah, you know how it is.
Yeah. All right, man. So you're coming off a bye week. Kind of want to have some fun with you here. What's a bye week, excuse me, like for you guys? What did you do?
Yeah, a couple of the boys and I went to Toronto. It's right over the border there. It's like 3 hour drive. So we're like, never been to Canada, so why not? It was good there. Got to check out some places like the Hockey Hall of Fame and all that, which was cool.
Sweet.
And then it was a quick trip though because we had some stuff to do Saturday though, so we came back Saturday.
Yeah. I remember my senior year. We drove to Nashville, so we saw Chris Stapleton. It ended up being quite a ride. But it's funny how like by getting away, you recharge your battery. You know what I mean? Like sometimes, especially in a long season, and you guys coming off a national title run, you feel rejuvenated, I should say, after kind of a little trip.
Yeah, like you're saying, just a little bit of time off makes you realize you're ready to get back and get back to work.
How's this season been for you? I know you've dealt with some injuries. The expectations have been sky high. What kind of where are you at this point in the season based on where you thought you would be at this point?
Yeah, thought we'd be in a better spot for sure, as a team and individually, but just got to control what we can control and just keep working. Got everything ahead of us still, so
yeah,
just got to stay close, stay together, and just figure out what we need to fix and just keep working on those.
Yeah, I was listening to you talk to the media a little bit earlier today, and you summed it up, man, where it's like, hey, a lot of this just comes back to like fundamentals and doing like the real simple stuff. Like, can you do the simplest thing? Like, what's in your head? What's my first step? Where should my hands go? Like, what's my assignment? It really boils down to the simple things. Is that something that you get to do during the bye week as a team? As you guys kind of get to, reset a little bit and say, hey guys, here's the areas we need to work on the most.
Yeah, 100%. That's, we call it an opportunity week. One, because a lot of guys get an opportunity to practice, and show what they got, but also just to grow and learn from like you said what we need to fix and really go back to square one, the little things, and just make sure the details are all on point. And I think we did a good job of that last week, and we've been rolling this week, so excited.
What do you think you kind of have learned? Each season has its own identity. What are some of the things you think you learned from the past 2 years and the deep runs you guys were able to make?
I think there's a lot to be learned. I think one thing is just how important culture is, and just the camaraderie within a team and the relationships within a team. Because when adversity hits, that's really the only thing holding you together, I feel like. When you got your brothers, and that's all. So I think that's probably the most important thing I've learned.
The culture, it looks strong, and it's been evident for a few years now. Like, I guess, could you kind of compare it to your high school as well? Like, what is the culture like at Michigan? Because I can tell you, being in the booth and watching you guys on TV, man, you guys seem like you love one another. Like you really care. It's more than just football. Like how would you kind of describe the culture?
Yeah, you hit it right on the head. Just like, I don't know how it is at other programs, obviously, but like from kicker to starting quarterback to any walk on, you name it. Everyone knows each other, and it's like we're always messing with each other. There's always good conversation going around, and it's like you said, when we're out there, it's all like that's the big motto we have is just like play for your brother. Like what I'm saying, we're going to war with your brother, so you don't want to let yourself down, but you definitely don't want to let your brother down, especially if he's busting his butt, But I think that's just the main thing with that.
Part of that is you've been, the most trusted pass catcher on the offensive side of the ball this year, and you've worn that badge, and you've kind of carried that weight. You're with the quarterbacks, you've had 3 different quarterbacks shuffling through.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, what is it like for you as a tight end, when each guy's in the huddle? Like, I guess this is something, I think fans would be curious about. Does the offense change that much from one to the next to the next? Obviously, Alex is, a great runner. Davis might be pre-snap, whatever it is. Does the offense change significantly depending on who's in there?
Not really like a whole lot. It's all the same stuff. The only thing that changes is the voice and the quarterback, obviously,
Yeah.
in the huddle. But yeah, it's really the same thing. Like you said, maybe with Alex, we had a little bit more like run packages within the game plan. But yeah, no, it's all the same. We've caught balls with all of them, so we worked with all of them, so it's nothing new.
Could you kind of maybe just to talk about you a little bit? Um, What's if you can? We were talking a little bit pre-show about Tyler Warren and how Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was. I was like, man, that was like a Heisman type performance. That, in for our viewers, it's the Penn State tight end had a crazy game versus USC. How would you kind of describe your game in your own words? Like, what do you think are your biggest strengths and what you bring to the Michigan offense?
I mean, I think I'm a really good route runner. Create
Yeah,
separation. I think I got sure hands. Good in the run game. I think I'm a really good tight end all around. But obviously I got a lot to improve on. Whether that's being even more dominant in the run game or being even more open. Creating more opportunities for Yak.
yeah.
There's a lot of things for sure, but I feel like all around my game's all right.
I should have asked you a better question. Honestly, that wasn't the best question. I guess really what I was curious about is, and I can maybe start with myself is, for me, I felt, hey, on 3rd and 6, I wanted the ball because one, I felt like I'd separate, and two, I felt even if I didn't, I was going to come down with it. Like
Yeah.
when you think about what makes you in that Mackey conversation, a potential first round pick, what are those strong points?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like you said, first down. Like you need to get to the sticks. I'm your guy,
Mhm.
covered or not, and that's how I feel. And like you said, I want the ball. Like when it's a situation where we need it, must have. I want to be the guy that's catching the ball, running the route. Being the guy. But I think there's a lot of things. I think that that are reasons I could be up there for sure.
You're humble. I'll
Yeah.
talk about you, and I'll stay after, and
Yeah, I
I'll
don't
lay it
like
out,
I
bro.
don't like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but okay, contested catches has stood out for me. I mean, even you're a true freshman, and you go on that run down the stretch of the season, Big Ten championship, back shoulder versus Purdue. Like, damn,
Yeah.
man, great plays. So, and your roommate and one of your good buddies, you guys were together on the bye week, is Will Johnson. How do you kind of work on that? How do you become a great contested catch tight end? Like how you can catch the jugs by yourself,
Yeah.
obviously, but what goes into becoming a great 50-50 ball guy?
Yeah. I think it starts in practice. But for me, I feel like me and my brother when we were little, uh, we used to always just like we'd hate the balls. We throw the ball back and forth in the yard, and we'd always hate when it was a good ball. Like we always just wanted hard catches because
Yeah.
that's cool catches. And we would always do that. In high school, I only ran fades. I only caught contested balls. So it's just like doing it over time and then just having the hand-eye coordination to do so. But to work on it, definitely like just pre-practice, even catching the ball, just have someone grabbing on your arm, someone being right
Yeah.
there, punching the ball out. Those are good drills to do as well.
Dude, that's what me and my brothers would do. I forget what we'd call it, but it'd be like the tough catch game or whatever. And you
Yeah.
had to catch it with one hand or late hands or something
Hmm.
like that.
Yeah.
Uh, those were the days. Do you so in the off season, how often do you get the chance to go against Will, and kind of what's it like, going one on one with him, and you guys being roommates?
Yeah, we haven't gone like full real deal team against each other too many times. I think I've gotten on him once. He's gotten on me once or twice. But like you said, in the off season, whether that's we're getting work like release work or whatever, it's obviously like huge to have, the best DB in the country, right,
Yeah.
at access. And he even like he'll say things like, "Oh, I think if you do this, you really mess him up, or if you did this, you would really get him." And it goes both ways, so it's pretty cool to have that for sure.
Man, Jordan Lewis, that's who Jordan Lewis was to me. Jordan Lewis, and then Jabril Peppers and Channing Strickland, bro. Like, man, practice were some of the honestly, practice was some of the most fun parts of football, is getting to go up against your buddies every single day. One guy that's really taken a big stride in your room too is Marlin Klein, and I know you've talked about him. Brad. A few people have said, "Hey, this guy has a chance to be really special." What is it? You're the veteran in the room now. What have you seen from him, in terms of his growth and how he's been able to kind of really start to put together a strong season?
Yeah, I mean, anything the coaches ask him to do, he's willing to do it, which is, I think, number one, speaks a lot about him. Never complains, always good for whatever. Works his tail off. Just kind of had to sit back and wait a little bit, to really get some real life playing time. And I commend him for that. And he came, he's done a great job this season. Works his tail off, like I said, but just like an elite tight end, like he hasn't shown it all yet. With what I'm saying, there's a lot left he could show that people don't know about him. So I'm just excited for him to display that whenever that comes.
Big shout out to our sponsor, Wolverine, as there is a new collab with Wolverine and U of M football players, guys like Colston Loveland, Alex Orji, Donovan Edwards, Mason Graham, all your favorite players, basically. You can head over. You can see it all over social media. These guys doing photo shoots. What can't they do? Modeling the new clothes in new gear. I'm wearing the flannel, as you guys know. It's fall. Got to wear flannels. But there is a new special edition Michigan branded Wolverine work boot. It's beautiful for the fall. Actually would go really well with this flannel. So basically, if you guys want to shop this collection, shop the new work boots, shop the new collab between Alex Orji, Mason Graham, Colston Loveland, all these guys, head over to wolverine.com/blue collar. Again, that's wolverine.com/blue collar to shop the collection and learn more about Wolverine's NIL campaign with hardworking Michigan football players. So part of it too is the blocking aspect. And obviously you guys got to have a great culture, like you said, but to be able to communicate with the tackles and the offensive line as a whole, what can you share with us a little bit about like your relationship with the offensive linemen and the tackles when you take the field? What is it like, kind of say it's on the road, Washington, for example, it's loud. What's the communication like with the big fellows up front?
Yeah, I mean, you know how it is. That's important. You got to get your the tags right, but I feel like the tight end is like, what is a tight end? It's receiver, O-line, but we spend a lot of time with the O-line. Like you said, just making calls, and when it's loud, you gotta be able to just kind of be on the same page. And a lot of times, it's like not even make a call, but you see the front, it's like, all right, we should know we're working here. So yeah, it's crucial, and obviously with the new O-line, we had to adjust, but they've been doing a great job, and everyone's been doing a great job, and we love the big dogs. They're fun to be around.
Do they run together? Like we were talking about. So now I work in television, and like our camera crew. I think of our camera crew as like offensive linemen. There's like 15 different people on cameras, and they roll together, man. They're almost, I don't want to say clicky because it's kind of negative, but they are clicky.
You know what you're saying. Yeah.
And they're loyal as hell to each other, and they're loyal to you if you take care of them. Does that kind of, how would you describe like the aura or the culture of an offensive line?
Yeah, exactly what you said. They're always rolling together, but that's part of it. You gotta. That's like that at that position. All five of the guys got to be on the same page all the time. So, and it starts with outside the building, being together all the time, just knowing each other like the back of your hand. And yeah, they do that for sure. You always see them rolling deep.
So you really are like the veteran on this offense. I think you and Don were like the two returning starters. So I guess I'm curious, kind of from your vantage point, what are some of the areas you feel? Maybe we can even start with the offensive line. Like, what are some of the areas that you feel this unit has really taken a step forward here to start the year?
I feel like just the just the accountability. You know, it was kind of a question like, all right, who's going to step up? Who's going to do it? We got some guys that haven't started ball yet till this season, Big Ten ball, and just like the way they stepped in, just no complaints at all. You know, just wanting to get that work and get better. Commend them for that. But I mean that and the physicality. I mean, like people thought there was gonna be a big skip a beat in that as far as from last year, and I think that we've shown that we can do it. A lot of teams just like to load the box on us, so we gotta work around that. But the O-line's been doing a great job. They're gonna continue to keep getting better too.
Yeah, I think that's the most important part here, man. And obviously, like Michigan, like the standard is sky high, and like that should never change. The physicality, though, can't be denied. Like the physicality, the film doesn't lie, as they say, but the accountability, what you're saying, is the key here, where things aren't always linear. But if you could be accountable, like you're going to improve week over week over week over week. For you, man, kind of looking down the stretch of the back half of this season. What are some of those goals you have? Because I know, you and I have talked about it, and I think it's okay to kind of revisit this conversation. You have a chance to break some of the records. You have a chance to win the Mackey, to win, the Big Ten Tight End of the Year. What are the ways? How do you get there? How do you reach, your fullest potential here in the back half of the season?
Yeah, I think first thing, just don't get complacent at all. Like throw that all out the window. Any bit that tries to come in, don't let it get in. And it just work. Just keep working, keep coming. Don't change what I've been doing. It's obviously working, and even do more. Staying in the building, watching more football, going that much harder in practice. Finishing that rep a little more, taking it all the way to the end zone, maybe instead of whatever it may be. Just like really focusing in on my game, how I could become the best tight end, or best version of myself. A lot also with bringing others up around me. But I think just keeping a level head, trusting the coaches, trusting the process, staying close to God, and just knowing everything's going to pan out.
Do you watch like tight ends across the conference or NFL tight ends? Like when you say watching more football, what guys are you typically watching?
Yeah, we watch a lot of guys. Recently. I've been watching a lot of Laporta. I'm a big fan of his game. I watch a lot of his game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We'll watch tight end touch tapes across the country too, like Penn State. Tyler Warren, he's been doing his thing. Bowling Green's got a tight end that he's been doing his thing. But yeah, the NFL. I watch a ton of tight ends. Kittle's one that stands, especially. Obviously, we all know, but in the run game, his pad level and him being horizontal is so.
Yeah.
It's just.
I know we got to let you run here, but yes, I watch a lot of Sam Laporta, especially, he was balling in my early in the early stage of my career with the Big Ten Network. So naturally I'd watch him a bunch. And even for Fannin with Bowling Green, like those guys, they're not wide receivers, but they have the ability to play wide receiver. And where I'm going with this is the ability to line up anywhere across the formation, which is this. I was listening to a clip the other day about Justin Jefferson, and he was asking his coach, he's like, why did he break all the records? And the coach said, it's mental. We want to get you the ball, but you need to be able to line up anywhere on the field. Like, is that something that you have in your game? Like, do you know the playbook where you could play Z receiver or X receiver and all the routes?
Yeah, 100%. They always say I don't know how it is at other places, but you never just learn your position. You got to learn conceptual.
Yeah,
you got to know. You know what I'm saying? Because you see it. We have the tight end at 1, we have the tight end at 2, field 1, field 3, boundary 1, and we got a bunch of different formations that tell us that, a bunch of different tags or whatever it may be. So, yeah, I definitely have that in my game, and I think they've done a pretty good job of spreading me out, moving me around. Like motioning into routes, all that. But, yeah, that's something that like even in high school I kind of had to just know I played every position, so it's nothing new. But I definitely take pride in that, just knowing everything, and and even if someone doesn't know what they're doing, that way you could help them out or
Yeah.
it's a plus.
No, that's the biggest thing, man. Is they do in what I have seen is you have lined up a bunch, you've motioned a bunch, and it's
Mm-hmm.
critical to be able to do that so they kind of can get you the ball. All right, man. Well, I'll kind of let you out on this one, and I appreciate you kind of taking the time here. Um, I wanted to ask you one more fun one about Max Bredesen because I think he's become. I just wish more people watched him.
That's what I'm saying.
I think a lot of people in the Michigan circle watch him, but like that dude, the way he plays the game, there's no off switch, and it's unbelievable. Is he in the room with you guys, or is he in the room with the running
Yeah,
back?
yeah, he's
Okay.
yeah.
Can you just kind of talk about what he brings to the offense, what he brings to the team?
Yeah, I mean, there's no question why he was a captain, obviously, or is a captain. Um, yeah, guy's a dog. Was a former walk on, has that walk on mentality, just like working. I'm gonna work harder than anyone in here. And just him on game day is it's a different bread than he's different all the time, but on game day, you look in his eyes, it's like, all right, yeah, I don't want to get in his way.
Yeah.
And he's just like you said, he's just so detailed. Like you think he's just running through people, but like when you really break it down in practice and the techniques that we use, like second to none. So he's big shout out to Brad. That's my guy. He also does a lot of the dirty work for me, which is I gotta show love for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, so happy and proud of him to see what he's done, and he's just continuing to just keep climbing.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's beautiful, and I'm like almost like trying to start a movement in the media for more people to watch him because there's so
Yeah,
many ways to
please
affect
do.
games. Yeah, you can affect the game in so many ways, like without getting the football, and like that dude, the passion he plays with at the Rose Bowl last year. You guys were taking the field, and I was walking off, and I gave a couple dudes a high five. I know it's not about me, but that dude, it's like I wasn't even there. Like his eyes were like freaking pinpoint horse
Yeah.
blinders going out to just go hit somebody. It was beautiful and scary at the same time. So
Yeah.
thanks for kind of giving us the insight, man. And hey, thanks so much for joining us too, bro.
No,
I know we've been trying
appreciate
to make this happen for a while, and it's a pleasure to watch you. Really excited to watch you down the back half of the season and go compete, man. I know Tyler Warren's been playing great. Now it's your turn to raise the bar here coming off the bye week, and just keep elevating, bro. So great stuff. Thanks so much for joining us, Colston.
Yeah, appreciate you. Anything you need, we'll see it.
Always, brother. All right, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. Another episode of The Lab presented by Wolverine.